Hello and welcome to On the Kerbs. I'm your host, Team Albers Daily. Joining me this time is World Endurance Championship driver Christoph Ulrich. We caught up recently to chat about his love for Ferrari, racing at Sebring and why it's one of his favourite tracks, his championship win back in 2021, and much more. So without any further ado, let's just get straight into it, and I hope you enjoy our conversation. So, hi Christoph, thanks for being here today. First of all, how are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you, Timo?
I'm happy to hear it, and yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. So, first question I'd like to ask everyone who comes on here, what first got you into motorsport?
Well, that goes back a few years. I grew up very much in Swiss countryside where motorsport is very far away. The only thing you can do is tractor racing or something like that. So the first thing who got my attention was motocross. I think I was still a boy, and we started to build our own bikes, and we just rode on the lands around the houses and something like that. And I started racing when I was with motocross. I think I was 12 or 13, already too late for an international career, but I did some European stuff then until I was 22 or 23.
Well, so you say a bit too late for an international career, but you are in the World Endurance Championship at the moment, so it's not gone all too badly.
No. I mean, WEC is just this amazing championship, and I absolutely like to be there. I got into car racing just a few years ago. I think the first full season I did was 2017 in the GT Sports Club. I also did my first Route to Le Mans race in 2017, and then full Le Mans Cup in 18 and 19.
I'm going to say it's kind of throwing you into the deep end a little bit in some ways there, but I mean, going straight for the big stuff, but why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it goes back to I met Amato Ferrari a couple of years ago. I was a huge fan. I always went to races. I went to Spa, I went to Monza, I went to Brno for the GT, for the SRO Super Weekend back then, or the 1,000-kilometer races, even in the mid of the 90s, but just as a visitor. And so I met Amato Ferrari a couple of years ago, and I bought a car from him. And part of the deal was an invitation for two to Le Mans. I've never been there, and so I was in Le Mans 2015, I think it was, and I was just blown away. It was the best thing I ever saw. And I said, I'd like to buy a car from you, and I'd like to drive this car occasionally on some track days. So this was my initial idea. Long story short, I bought the 458 GTE from him with some Le Mans history, did 2 tests, and started racing.
So not a bad deal there, really, is it?
Still have the car. I love it. I'm very passionate about these race cars. And so I said I want to race, maybe just one race in my life, and then it goes on and on and on, and I saw, okay, there's an opportunity to do a Route to Le Mans, and the first time I hit that track, I will never forget this feeling.
I was going to say, then you were racing in the WEC this year, as we were saying, you're driving for AF Corse, and you've just finished outside the points in Sebring. What was the race like from your perspective? And if it wasn't for that electrical thunderstorm, do you think you could have got up there?
Well, we got some points. We finished P7. I think that's 9 points or something like that. But yes, you say it right. During my stints, I did a lot of fuel saving, which is not something you like so much to do, but it's very, very important in endurance racing. So it was so and we based on our information and the calculations I got from the engineers, we wouldn't have to do a pit stop anymore. And some of our competitors in front of us, they had to. And we would have gained some places, in theory, let's say. But then the thunderstorm came and the lightning came and we had to stop. So I think the strategy was right. We just got a little bit of bad luck and timing, or that the race wasn't run for the full 8 hours. But that's part of the game. So it's fine. Next one, maybe.
So you're saying you had to do some fuel saving. Is that the most challenging thing for you about endurance racing, and because it's the most frustrating in a way, or is there something that's more challenging for you?
It's a good question. What is the most challenging thing? Gentleman driver like me, who's running his business aside. So to combine racing and business and the working and to make you available and to have full attention also when you are at the racetrack and around it and the traveling and all that stuff, that's for sure challenging. So you need to organize yourself that you're really disconnected from your business stuff, and that you can then concentrate on your race weekend, which is usually a race week, everything together with the tests and so on. And then of course the driving, the performance, the speed, the tactics, like that. So me as the less experienced compared to my co-drivers like Tony, who has done, I don't know, 300-400 races in his life, and Simon, the young silver driver we have, very quick, 3 times Italian champion. So for me, it's how close can I come to these guys, and I get a specific job to do. So and I have to do this, and being concentrated years and the team is telling me to do so. So I try to do that the best way I can.
You say you have the one younger driver in the team there. Have you given him any advice about what to try and do better, and what kind of advice would you give to others looking to get into this kind of motorsport?
Well, I think the problem with motorsport today, it's very expensive, and you need to have access to this kind of things. I think if you're a young driver and you want to go into motorsport, always believe in yourself, and try to do things what keeps you into it. I mean, if you have fundings available and so on, that's pretty easy, you know. Then you can do all the stuff and go up, but usually that's not the case. And so what I recommend is just to do karting. I do a lot of karting as a training as well, karting, and try to drive things and being connected to the scene, and look what is the best way for you. I mean, today we have I think Ligier Cup, which is a very interesting format, with the GTs and the little prototypes, and then you have LMP3s, which brings you into endurance and prototype racing. We have GT4. So it depends a bit in which direction you want to go. But yeah, I recommend to just, you know, not giving up, and do every day something what brings you closer to your target. That is, if it's physical training, if it's mental training, if it's karting or whatever, things like that.
So karting always seems to be a good foundation across the board there. So
yeah, exactly.
So then, obviously, Chris, kind of starting on the 2022 season, what are your ambitions for the rest of the year?
Well, it's our first full season in WEC. It's the World Championship. It's not a kindergarten party. So we compete against the best drivers in the world in the endurance. So I just want to leave every race with that I know that I did the best I could, with not doing any mistakes, being competitive, and we have a lot to learn. So there are always these little details, about the pit stops, about this, about in which situation. And of course, we are aiming for a podium, something like that. That would be great if we could achieve something like that in our first season. Maybe we need a bit of luck. I think from performance-wise, we are quite there. I hope. I think so. So what I've seen, but there, as endurance race has a lot of surprises. You never know. So we stay humble and keep our head down and aiming for it.
So a good bit of the time as well in endurance racing, you just have to make it to the end and just hope that some of the other people don't, and then you never know when you might be able to get a better result as a result of that.
Yeah, you never win in the first corner, but you can lose it.
Yeah. Going back a little, then you also came first in the Fantech GT2 European Series with 6 wins back in, I think, 2021. Was it? What was it like to win that and that whole experience?
Oh, it was great. Of the championship, it came unexpected. I met Marcel Fessler in beginning of 2021, and he mentioned it that he stopped his career, that he will end his career, but he will become a motorsport director at Sport, which is a well-known tuner in Switzerland, and that they want to increase their motorsport activities, and that they are going to have a KTM GTX and a GT2, and if I like to test it once. And I say, give me a call when you have an opportunity, but there was no plan, nothing. So I did a test with the GTX in March, I think, last year, and he said, maybe if we have a place available for a race or two, and I said, maybe, but why not? But they will not be ready for the first day. So he called me then on a Tuesday saying, can you race next weekend? I said, where? Monza, GT2. I said, but it's in a few days. Yes, can you be there tomorrow? I say, yes, I'm in.
You're not going to say no.
I didn't know the GT2. I only drove the GTX. I didn't know my teammate. I didn't know the team at all. But I sound excited. It was March. I had no plan, no seat, nothing, no plans for 2021. So why not? So we went there. I think P2 and P1, and then we took it from there, race by race. And at a certain point, we saw maybe there is an opportunity to win a championship. And it went better and better and better, and I really enjoyed it. It was really great for everyone. Nobody expected it, and we had a blast. It was fantastic.
So not bad for a late call.
Yeah. It was sometimes it's these kind of things in life, right?
So you see this sometimes more often than not in motorsport. It's the ones that come together at the last minute when there's absolutely no plan there for it, and it just works. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, the team was new, but the people into it, they were not unexperienced. I mean, Marcel, I don't need to say anything about him, and he knew exactly what we need to do, and we had some mechanics he brought with from Just. So they went through a lot of endurance races, and we never had any technical failure based on, let's say, mechanic problem. We had some issues with the car in the beginning. The car was brand new, but this was just minor things. Like you always have with new cars, there was not much testing, and but this was sorted out with the help of KTM. So no complaints about that, and it was just great.
So what was it like then when you did get to the end of the season and you won that? Were you kind of thinking, it's like you're saying it's unexpected, but was you still in that kind of what's going on kind of feeling, or?
Not really. It was funny because they told me with the summer break, and we had the Misano race, and then it came quite a busy time as I just mentioned. We had some gremlins, electrical gremlins with the car, so the car had to go back to KTM, and then I had, as we were at the reserve list at Le Mans, we decided to do a WEC race in Monza, and I remember I had to do the 8 hours of 6 hours of Monza last year. Then I jumped in the car. I drove to Salzburg that night, and I had to do a rollout test on the next morning at the Salzburg ring. And then on Wednesday, I had to take, I think, my I had to get the vaccination. It was available then to Spa for the next GT race, and they told me, you will drive alone because we want to win the championship, but you have to win both races. I say, well, winning a race is still something, not something you just do it, but it's still something new. And but yeah, 2 pole positions, 2 times fastest lap, and 2 race wins. So
that'll do.
We won the championship. That was really great. I mean, it helped me. I had a fantastic car. We even did some pit stop mistakes where I stand, I think, 6 or 7 seconds too long. But I have also just to mention that compared to my competitors, I had much more experience at Spa. When you test, I drove in the GT Sports Club, I drove in the Le Mans Cup, I drove in the LMS, so I did a couple of laps in different conditions in the wet. I also did the 25 hours in the Fun Cup in Spa. So I did lots and lots and lots of laps at Spa, and for some competitors it was new; they have never been there. But for me, it was a big advantage to know it. And at the end of it,
you still have to manage it though.
Yeah, was going to be wet, and we had the slicks, and I had these conditions, and I knew what to do.
So you make it sound really easy then.
It wasn't that easy, but basically a bit what I had to do, and at the end it worked. Or I thought I did it, and at the end it worked.
And say, aside from that championship win, then, do you have a favorite racing sport memory?
Winning Route to Le Mans 2018. This was the best
away.
Yes. Saturday race in front of the whole crowd on that magic track, staying on the top of the podium, looking, when you see you see the start finish line, you see the tribunes on your left side, on the right side with the lounges, and down there is the pit lane where everybody gets ready for the 24 hours. And winning it and being up there was just, I don't know, I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
So I can imagine it's quite a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. And soon after that, I said, okay, I need to do the 24 hours. Whatever it costs and whatever I need to do, I want to do the 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, I might know the answer to this one then, based off that, but what's the best track you've ever raced on and why?
It's difficult to say. I don't really have one favorite one, but you can bring it down to 3. It's Le Mans, just because of the feeling you have when you drive it. It's with all the surrounding, with everything around, with the barbecue smell when you arrive at the Porsche cars and things like that. And it's just magic, and you have different surfaces and things like that. So Le Mans for sure, number 1. Spa for his pure speed. I like fast corners. So that's the second one. And Sebring. I absolutely love Sebring.
I can say, from the look of it, I hadn't seen a lot of racing there before the race the other day, but then got plenty of it when watching it, because you're there for quite a while as a spectator then. And it's just kind of got that very old school, rugged feel to it. I get that impression from it.
Yes, it's very old school. It's no bullshit. There are no calls from Eduardo Freitas in terms of track limits, because if you're off, you're off. So it's I love that. It's black and white. And I said old school, and generally motorsport in America is something I absolutely adore. I like the way they do it.
Couple of non-motorsport related questions then to finish off with. What's one random thing about you that people should know?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I don't think that people need to know a lot about it. What I do outside of motorsport, as I just live a normal life. I run my business together with my girlfriend and with my two cats. I have a little or a small animal sanctuary, which is a heart project I have. Maybe that's something, but I'm not really talking about. As I say, that's not something important or I need to share with the world. That's just things that I do, and I like to hike in the mountains. We live around here, and just this,
Animal sanctuary and two cats. I will say, and then finally, then, would you rather always have breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast?
Always breakfast, even if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't start the day without special created muesli. It's not possible. I can skip everything, but not that. Not possible. Yeah.
Very, very concise answer there at the end. Knew that exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. I want to wish you best of luck for 2022 season, and yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and have a great day, Tim. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks again to Christoph for coming onto the Kerbs with me, and I wish him the best of luck for the rest of the 2022 season. Join me again soon when I'll be chatting to another famous face from the world of motorsport. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and check out the other videos on the On the Kerbs YouTube channel. And you can also listen to me talk about Formula 1, amongst other things, over on the On the Kerb podcast. Away from YouTube, you can follow me over on Instagram at t.albers.daily.onthekerbs and read my various motorsport articles over on Is It Fast, Paddock Sorority and Supercar Blondie. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next week for the next episode.